What's up is down, what's left is right. Chasing stars and holding you. I can't see the end, but we'll see it through.
Hey kid, don't ever let them get inside your head. They'll tell you what to do in life instead of everything you know that you could get. Don't let them guide your life towards regret.
Good evening, good afternoon, good morning. Welcome to the Armoury. And it's just the Armoury tonight because Dermot's doing the Tottenham Liverpool game, so I've left him to do that on the FTSN tonight. But we've got to talk about the game. Sorry for the no warning whatsoever. We've set this up at the last minute because the game's coming thick and fast. I'm back doing Arsenal again tomorrow because Arsenal are playing Liverpool tomorrow. Then the match preview on the Okay, I'm back. I don't know where G went as well. G, for some reason, disappeared as well. I don't know why G disappeared.
I literally don't know what happened. It's like you froze, and then I thought I was there, and then I wasn't there, and then I was like, okay, let me just leave and then come back in, and hopefully we're live. So yeah, we're here.
We're here. Look,
I'm just glad the Arsenal performance was smoother than that, eh?
Yeah. What a time for my internet to die. And for some reason, G also disappeared as well. I don't know why. Madness. Oh dear. Let's get into the comments. Big up to BX. What a weekend so far. Yes. Obviously, Wolves beat Man City, and I told the guys in the group WhatsApp what Wolves were singing to Man City, and it made me giggle. I'm so close to the Wolves Stadium. I heard all the chants. It was hilarious. Who are you? Who are you? To Man City. Love them. Yeah. I love them up here.
I didn't want to get too excited too soon.
No, I didn't mention the score. I was like,
because
that chant was so funny.
It happens all the time. It's like I've got to the point now where I don't really follow the City games now anymore because I used to get really excited, obviously back in the last season, and then lo and behold, particularly where Wolves scored so early, I just thought, they're going to come back. But when they equalised and then Wolves got the second goal, that's when I was like, okay, this could get interesting. And brilliant performance from Wolves.
Wolves did really well. Gary O'Neill set that team up brilliantly against City.
Yeah.
City were not great.
I didn't see it.
Yeah,
I'm going to try and catch the highlights tonight.
They had so much of the ball, but they did literally nothing with it. So yeah, big up to Tony. Hope you're doing well. No audio. I think we're both fine on audio now. I had internet issues. When the weather comes down, it cuts my internet out for a minute. It's literally a minute. It's weird. Oh dear, Man City fans broke Bobby's internet. Yeah, to be fair, it could have been them as well.
It was, man.
Yeah, it was. Oh no, Liverpool down to not
Yeah, they're down to 9 men now. I didn't catch who got sent off, but when our internet was failing, my TV was still going, and I don't know. Somebody in the chat can tell us who actually got sent off, but yeah, they're down to 9 men now.
Wow. Okay. Was it a deserved red card? I know the first.
I didn't even see. I just literally when I looked over, I just saw the red above the ref's head. So I don't even know who actually got red. I think it was I think it was a double yellow.
Oh, okay. So
yeah.
Tony just said it was Tony Fulbrook. So it's a Jota. Yeah.
Wow, I swear he came on for Gakpo at half time, didn't he?
I have no idea, mate. I've not seen any of this game at all.
I don't think Jota started the game. So if he did, I'm sure he came on for Gakpo at half time. So that means he must have got 2 yellows in the second half. Wow, okay.
Okay. Well, there you go. You keep me updated, please, guys, because I have literally no idea. I've got to re-upload my slides now because it went with the internet. So there we go. Of course, it's not going to show up. Let's go back there. Right. So there we go. It was Bournemouth 0, Arsenal 4, Saka, Odegaard penalty, Havertz penalty, and a Benjamin White with a lovely header at the end. I think if you look at the scoreline, you'd think, oh, very comfortable, very comfortable. Before the Saka goal, it wasn't so comfortable. We hadn't even started. We were just, weren't looking right. But once we got the goal, then we went into our gears and then we just finished them off. Bournemouth look really poor. I do worry about them for, long term. I know it's not, we're Arsenal fans and blah, blah, blah. But I actually like Bournemouth. I think it's a nice club. Yeah, it's disappointing. But for us, neither of us were that confident that we'd get this kind of comprehensive win. But definitely not a clean sheet. I think we both went in for them getting 1 goal against us. Absolutely nothing. Yeah. Bournemouth showed nothing, did they? No.
I mean, yeah, I think defensively we were good. I think Raya was back to his confident. He's his confidence best in terms of a performance. What I really like about him is just how commanding he is. There are times when, like with Ramsdale, it's like he pulls off these worldy saves, but then sometimes the simple things he doesn't quite get right. But with Raya, he seems to do the simple things really, really well. So he kind of just nullifies a lot of threats even before they become threats. So he doesn't even have to make a save. So I thought he had a good game. Defensively, I mean, Saliba and Gabriel, in terms of a pairing, I think the only centre-back pairing in that conversation other than those two is whoever City filled. Because I think as a pairing, they are arguably one of the best pairings in world football. And they're probably the best young defensive partnership in world football. They're just so good. Both of them made 2 basically almost goal-scoring, saving tackles at one point in the game. So they were just fantastic. I mean, it's a weird one again. It's like we played well in spells again, but across the whole 90, would I say it was a brilliant performance? No, it wasn't. But when we had the ball and when we did things, it worked and we ripped them apart and we scored goals. So it was a comfortable win, but there were moments where you just think, it doesn't feel like we're even out of like second gear here. And once we got the first goal, I was really, really eager for us to go on and get 3 or 4. And I'm really, really glad we did. I'm really, really glad we did. So, I mean, for me, the most important thing now, this stage of the season, is to be in and around, the title chasing pack, in and around the top 4. We don't want to let City get away from us or be ahead of us, by too many points. And I mean, 7 games in, we still haven't lost a game. So happy days, man.
Yeah, well, this is the thing, like, because our performances haven't been great in the Premier League. I think we can say that about every single game. They haven't been perfect. Man City have an off day today.
Yeah.
How do they do?
Yeah.
That's
this
the
is
difference.
This is
City
it.
have an off day today and they lose.
And
we
that's
have an off day and we've won.
And that's two back-to-back defeats for them. And I don't think that's any coincidence that Rodri has missed both those games. I think he is absolutely instrumental for them. Because they went out of the cup against Newcastle in what wasn't a great performance. I've not seen the game today, but for City to lose to Wolves 2-1, they couldn't have been at their best. And for what I've seen on the timeline and stuff like that, it's not as if it didn't feel like, you know, City were peppering their goal and they've missed hatful of chances. It just feels like it was a very under par performance from them. And Wolves were really good and they deserved their win. So I'd be interested to see to watch like Match of the Day and stuff tonight, just to see what the actual game was like.
Yeah, what I would say is Neto is definitely back to his best.
I saw his goal contribution. Did he actually score? I saw him. He didn't score, did he? The first goal, he set it up.
No, the first goal was Diaz's own goal.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, because I saw the video on Twitter, but it was a bit, like blurry. But he basically just ran past like a load of City players. So he's looking good.
Yeah, well, this is the thing. City obviously have their way of playing, and you can get them on the counter attack. And with Neto in the attack for Wolves, that is a big danger. He's so good. I love Neto. Right, let's quickly go into the comments before we go on to the stats. To think I predicted a freak Bournemouth win, don't I feel silly with that reverse?
I remember that, Timmy.
yeah, we remember that one for last night, mate. Yeah, it worked. It worked, mate. Don't worry. Tony said, my boy, I said he would score. He has scored, and big up to Odegaard and Saka.
Yeah,
that
was beautiful.
Just told you to, have the go.
That was beautiful. But you know what the crazy thing is that when I heard that kind of was happening, because I was following the commentary, I thought to myself, you know what? If he misses this, it's just going to be so bad. And I was literally sitting there listening, thinking, praying. Just score. Because if they've given you this pen and you miss, it's just going to go from bad to worse in terms of like, obviously, people's opinions online. So I'm so glad he slotted it away and he's off the mark. And hopefully,
and with confidence as well.
Hopefully that would just be the beginning of many goals and assists he gets. In the
well, this is the thing. People have got to remember he's had 3 years of hell at Chelsea.
Yeah.
For him, he has. It's 3 years of Chelsea. And he needs a fresh start. We all need to support him. The players today have shown to the fans how you should support an Arsenal player that you may not like, you may not have enjoyed the signing. That's how you do it. And show him support.
And I think what that shows, the likes of Odegaard and Saka giving him that penalty, that shows that the players are very much aware of sections of the fan base and their opinions on Havertz and how some of the sections of the fan bases are feeling as though he's playing or how he started Arsenal career, because otherwise they just wouldn't have done that. You know, so I completely agree. And we had this conversation last night in the preview. There are players that I'm not massive fans of, but Eddie Nketiah is one of them. Personally, I wouldn't have started Eddie today, but Arteta believes in him. He started him, and had Eddie got a hat-trick today, I would have loved it. I would have celebrated it. I'm not gonna. I don't take to the timeline and go, "Oh, Arteta's playing this crap player again," and blah blah blah. Like once they're on that team sheet and once they're out there, you just got to support them. Yes, we can analyze. Yes, we can criticize constructively, but Gunners, just leave the abuse alone, man. It's just he's an Arsenal player now, and he could be an Arsenal player for the next 10, 12 years. Who knows? Let's just hope this is the beginning of good things for Havertz in an Arsenal shirt.
Yeah, exactly. Tony, he went for 3-0. Ben spoiled it. Yeah, Ben just wanted to ruin your scoreline, mate. That's what it was. You were the only one that was actually confident, to be honest. I've just looked at the scores before we went online. But yeah, you were the most confident out of all of us. Dorset boy, Benny Blanco scoring in Dorset. Him coming from Poole. He loved the fact that he scored in Bournemouth. Yeah. I'd love to know what the odds were, actually, for Ben White scoring against Bournemouth. That would be nice.
It must have been decent.
Big up to Bart. It's a serious fan. Great win for you guys, given the losses for the other big boys and Man United. I love the way that you've put that, Bart, considering I know you support as well. Now, Luke, I'm gonna change the way you've asked this question because I don't want to say the last part. Should we rest some of our main guys against Long so we're as strong as possible against Man City? I'll leave the rest. Me personally, I think we should just get the job done. Get the job done in this group as quick as possible. Then the last 2 group games, we can rest everybody if we want. Have Cole Hine playing, have Hilson playing. I don't care. That's what I want to do. I will ask everyone tomorrow in the group WhatsApp for their lineups because we're doing the preview early on Monday. What about you, G?
For me, it just depends on what the situation is with regards to fitness. I think, I don't know whether players are somewhat playing through the pain barrier or whether Arteta is just, stringing us along. But first of all, if I go back, I was gobsmacked when I saw the lineup at 2 p.m. today. I really was. I didn't think most of those players would travel, let alone start. 3 of the 4 started. Trossard didn't get any minutes, but I was still gobsmacked that he was named on the bench. Yeah. So I think it just kind of depends on what their fitness levels are about. I mean, I've said to you many a times that for me, you play your strongest side. For me, in all competitions, whether it's the Carabao, FA Cup, Champions League, or the league, I mean, you play, if the players are fit and they can play, you play your strongest side. And I'm with you in that. I want us to progress in the Carabao Cup and win it. I want us to win the quadruple this season. That's how I see it. I want to win every single competition that we're in. Against, FC Lons, then, for me, it's about getting the job done. So I would play my strongest side, and I would think about City the morning after Lons. I think the focus right now has to be the Champions League game. And I think Arteta pretty much is like that. Obviously, he's going to have one eye on that fixture because it's a huge fixture, especially now there's only a point between us. It's a top of the table fixture. At the same time, he will kind of be putting that to the back of his mind and focusing on this Champions League game because it is important that we get 6 out of 6 points and we top the table. We get that job done as quickly as possible because, like you said, once we've got the 4 wins under our belt, we can then just, in the last 2 games, rotate and rest as we will. Do I think Arteta will do that? I actually believe he will rotate the side. I personally wouldn't, but I think he will with a view of the City game. But that's not what I would do. So I wouldn't rotate. I'd go strong, but I think Arteta will. I think you'll see Rams come in. I think you'll see Tomiyasu come in. I think you'll see Jorginho start. And I think you'll see the likes of ESR and Nelson start against SC Lons. But it's not what I would do.
Yeah, I agree. As things stand, Arsenal look like the biggest winners of the weekend as Brighton drop points. Yeah, that was a crazy game. City have lost.
Not expect that.
Yeah, look, this is the thing with the Zerbi ball, and that's what I call it. You're either going to absolutely annihilate the opposition, or you're going to be annihilated yourself. Yeah,
and literally.
For me, it's entertaining. I absolutely love watching the Zerbi football, but it can happen like that today as well. It is a risk. And I think with better players, no disrespect to the Brighton, better players, I don't think you lose 6-1, if I'm honest. If it was a City with the Zerbi ball, I don't think they lose 6-1. That's just my opinion on that. Because they had Luke Steele in goal today, which was, I don't know where Verbruggen is, but yeah, strange one. Tottenham and Liverpool, I don't know what the score is. I'm guessing it's still 1-1 between the two.
I think it is.
Apparently, has a 10 out of 10 record for penalties. I don't know what his penalty record is, but I know he's confident. And I saw that in the penalty that he took today. Looks like Rodri's absent is hitting City hard. I disagree with that. I'd say it's the De Bruyne that is missing that's hitting them hard. Kovacic played the Rodri role yesterday and played it absolutely fine. And City, they're playing their football, but they just were lacking something in the final third. So that's got nothing to do with Rodri. They just weren't up to it today. I don't know why. No idea. But that's the thing with Pep football. It's boring. I have to be honest. I don't enjoy it. I'm trying so hard not to say this one. All right. Does Man City losing their 2 games show how important Roger is for them? No, not for me. I think Kovacic is a good player to come in.
See, I don't know, man. I get what you're saying, Bobby. So I agree with you and I disagree with you at the same time. So I think Kevin De Bruyne is a huge miss.
Yeah.
But when I look at what they've done so far this season, they haven't massively struggled to score goals without him. So that just makes me a little bit hesitant. And when I look at the impact, the likes of, before Rice, when you look at the impact of Arsenal when we played with or without Partey, and then now when you look at us when we're with or without Rice, I mean, I think that DM position is just so crucial. I think he makes a major, major difference to City. But I think with the two out at the same time, yeah. I mean, you got to look at it like this. When we play City on whichever day it is, I think it's Sunday, they're not going to have Kevin De Bruyne, Gundogan, and Rodri.
Yeah. Well,
and that is just mind-blowing when you think about it, because that would have been their starting three midfielders last season when we played them.
For me, the biggest loss is the one that's now at Barcelona. Gundogan is a massive loss.
That was a huge loss for them.
And that is the biggest loss, not Rodri. Yeah. I don't think he really is essential to him. De Bruyne for me is, and I don't think they ever replaced Gundogan.
Yeah, and Gundogan, he's that clutch player, isn't he?
Yeah.
Like when you need that moment, you need that assist, or you need that goal. Like he did it time and time again at the back end of last season. He was their clutch player. Yeah. I just don't know how you replace that, to be honest.
No. That's not a Kovacic. That's not a Kovacic for me.
And it's not a Nunes either.
No, it's not.
It's just not. Yeah.
No. Anyway, Bart says, unrelated comment. I'm impressed by the impact that Emery has had at Villa. They look like they're unplayable on their day. Yeah, exactly. On their day, they look unplayable and can roll anyone over. Also, they have so many Champions League quality players. Yeah, they've had a great transfer window, but obviously we've seen them how perform badly this season as well. So it's a bit of hit and miss for Villa for me. Big up to Geeks. Hope you're doing well. Brighton never play like that against us. Yeah, they're true. They never do. Everyone's saying hi. Eric and Pep look like a couple of cracked eggs at the moment. Well, this is what I'm hoping next Sunday, that we have a nice bit of egg fried rice next Sunday. That's what I want. A nice bit of egg fried rice. Can't beat a bit of that. Undefeated is not for everyone. That little gold trophy was an amazing achievement. That will easily be matched. Yeah, it's not for everybody, is it? Yeah, look, it's never going to happen for City again. Once again, love it. I'm going to enjoy match of the day tonight. So, yeah, I think a lot of Arsenal fans will, to be honest. Big up to Luke. Northampton Town won. Excellent stuff. See, turn it around, Luke. Always have faith in your teammate. Barcelona have been, yeah, I know. We'll get into that in a different situation. It's not for now. I think I'd rather see the actual result of what happens with that before I discuss it, because there's a long way to go in that one. I think there's a tactical vulnerability between Emery and Dr. Zerbi to finger back in the day. I like that. Yeah, there is. It's for both, and there's a tactical vulnerability for both of the way that they play it. Same as Thomas Frank as well. I could put Thomas Frank in that little box as well, to be honest. Bart, it's the colour mode, but make it exotic. I don't know what's going on now. Right, let's move on to the actual stats of the game. 42% possession for Bournemouth, 58 for Arsenal, 8 shots for Bournemouth, 15 for Arsenal, so much better than last time. 1 shot on target for Bournemouth, says it all. 8 shots on target, which again, much, much better. Corners, 6 each. Passing accuracy, like I said, always need to be about just above 85, and I'm happy with Larry. 88, so that's good for me. 88, 81 for Bournemouth, not too bad. XG for Bournemouth, 0.69. XG for Arsenal, 3.47. So, it kind of says what we've been saying about it was a good performance, wasn't fantastic, but it's a 4-0 win. City had a game like that, wasn't a good performance, but they lost. To a Wolves, and to be fair, I think a lot of people are having Wolves as favourites to go down. So it's a crazy one. Right, let's talk about the team. This was the team chosen by Mikel Arteta and Lino Sousa. You're not in the lineup tonight, I promise. There is no errors. I double checked it this time. Raya, White, Saliba, Gabriel, Sinchenko, Rice, Havertz, Odegaard, Saka, Jesus, and Nketiah. And before because people moaned at me, I go, "Oh, you said this," but I said there were doubts.
Yeah.
A doubt is different to out.
Yeah.
It's a big difference. Look, I was surprised with Rice. Rice is the only one I was really surprised by, because what I heard, I'm guessing he's on painkillers, if I'm honest, because I have heard his back is pretty sore. But it is what it is. Well done to Saka. He managed to play through his pain as well. Look, I think a lot of our players are playing through pain, and I think what Mikel's doing is there's an international break coming on after Man City. It wouldn't surprise me if Rice and Saka get pulled out of international.
I think that'd be advisable, to be honest.
Yeah, I think that's what, he might go, okay, well, they've picked up Knox. We want to keep them with us. That can happen. It's legal. There's no ramifications for if you do that. So, yeah. But obviously you were a bit surprised, but mainly because of the players that were in the team, I'm guessing. Because
that's all it was. I mean, I was pleasantly surprised. Don't get me wrong. I just didn't expect. Obviously, news started to kind of filter out last night that, some of these players might not be as injured as we thought they would be. And then obviously this morning, a little bit more filtering through. But I was still very surprised when the lineup came out online at about 2 p.m. I thought Saliba was a doubt. Rice was a doubt. Saka was a doubt. And even Trossard, I didn't think would travel at all. But he was pictured last night. So, yeah, pleasantly surprised. But I was very happy when I saw the lineup. And when I saw the lineup, I thought to myself, for me, there was no excuse, which is what I said last night. Yeah. Whether these players played or not, I'd expect Arsenal to win the game. But when I saw the lineup, I was like, well, there's definitely no excuse. Yeah. Because this is a strong lineup against, Bournemouth side that is really struggling. They just didn't look like they even believed they could score. To be honest, that's just they're just really, really low on confidence. I think they've scored one goal at home all season so far. Yeah. So, pleasantly surprised, but obviously it's good news that these players played. Me personally, my only qualm with this lineup was that Eddie was playing centrally and Jesus was playing on the left. So I looked at it and I was happy with everything else. But me personally, had all these players been available, I would have played Jesus through the middle, and I probably would have given ESR some more minutes on the left-hand side. Other than that, obviously Arteta went with this lineup and we won the game comfortably, so I've got no qualms about it. But that's the only thing I probably would have done differently in terms of the 11 players he fielded.
Yeah, I agree, mate. Smith Rowe is someone that is like so close to just being picked every time for me, because he comes on and he's always just doing something magical. I love him. Don't get me wrong. I actually do love him. But I don't know what it is with Nketiah. I don't know what it is, because currently they're both still not scoring goals.
No.
So why are we doing it? Why are we still risking this? Smith Rowe needs the time as well. He needs the minutes, because
my friend's got some theory that it's all about Eddie being in the shop window between now and Jan and trying to get rid of him. I personally don't buy it. I just think with Arteta, I think if he doesn't trust a player and he thinks he's got better option, he drops them. I think we've seen that time and time again. So I just think that's a bit far-fetched personally. Because ESR came on, he is ring rusty, but he almost got a brace today. The first one, he should have probably scored, and then he had a really nice shot late on. I just want the kid to get more minutes.
I do,
because I'm not one of these Arsenal fans that have forgotten what he's capable of. He's absolutely quality. Just put it this way. I mean, would you prefer, an on form or in-form ESR playing on the left with Jesus in the middle, or Eddie Nketiah centre forward with Jesus playing on the left? For me, I just don't think I think it's a no-brainer between the two options.
Yeah, well, what Arteta's got to learn from last season is when you keep players out in the cold, not for punishment or anything like that, but when you're not playing them because you just stick with the same 11 or the same players, when they do come in cold, they look awful.
Yeah,
we've had that with quite a few with last season, and it doesn't work. So you've got to give them a little bit more playing time. This game would have been perfect for Smith Rowe. It is Bournemouth, no disrespect to Bournemouth, but it is the perfect game for him to play in. It's not like, and the thing is, a lot of people saying, "Oh, it's match fitness," and I was like, you do realise Smith Rowe actually played in the under-21 championships, which we won. It's not like he's been not playing for a while. I'm like, I swear people forget that Smith Rowe was part of the under-21 team. But yeah, it is what it is. But I want us to. I don't want us to drop Eddie because he's playing bad. He's not playing bad, but there's better options for me for the left. And Smith Rowe is that, because Martinelli could be out for another couple of games. Trossard, obviously, is on the bench. I know that. But we can get to a place again in the season where Martinelli and Trossard are both out again. Then we're going to need Smith Rowe. Or is he then going to put Nelson on the left? You've got to play Smith Rowe. You've got to give him some playing time. I think if he had maybe another hour or two match playing time, he might have put those 2 chances away today.
100%.
Could be a bit of rustiness for him.
Yeah, he's ring rusty.
I love the way the team celebrate. Yeah, I love it. Look, this is what Arsenal fans should all be about. Celebrate and always support the team as a team. Don't just pick out a player you don't like, go moan about him, but I love the rest of them. No, not for me. Try not to have your fan favourites as well, because I've noticed that starting to come through a little bit as well. Obviously, I hear a lot through the social media as well, and it's like there's always one player that gets all the plaudits. I'm like, so the other players should as well. Just stop just picking your favourite. Sarsenal are a team, and that's what I love about it. Like everyone talking to each other. That's why I'd rest Rice and Saka in particular against Lon. Play them against City, then tell them to say that they are injured for England. I personally think that those are the only two players I think we should rest against Lon. I think Jorginho can do the job, and personally, G might disagree with this, but I put Jesus on the right and put Eddie down the middle on Tuesday. Personally, that's just me personally, but a lot of people disagree. Lons, I would go with today's team, but with Nelson and Jorginho. Why risk Saka and Rice? Would prefer them. Yeah, we've got to keep Saka and Rice fit for the City game. They are essential for that game. Eddie Sunoco stunk up the joint again. Needs to leave in January. I still believe that there's a good chance he might leave within the next 8 months, something like that. I think he'll leave. Eddie Agenda still stinks. It's not an agenda for me. He's just not good enough. I'm going to put it in the Rob Holding category. He's slightly better than Rob, but he's still not good enough to be part of our squad, in my opinion. We can't have that much of a drop down, and we also need a striker that scores the goal.
Yeah, I just think it's to do. I just think it's to do with whatever stages we are of our process.
Yeah,
and I think right now, we've gone from being a team that didn't play European football for a couple of seasons to being in the Champions League and potentially challenging for a Premier League title.
Yeah,
and where we're at in terms of where we want to go or progress to. That's just for me. It's a level above where Eddie's at, or where Eddie can get to in terms of his ceiling. Yeah. There's a massive gulf in ability between Jesus and Eddie. Massive gulf. Jesus can have such an impact on the game without even scoring, and I just don't think Eddie does that to the same level. And I don't think he's capable of doing it. And we do desperately need a striker that can get us 20 plus Premier League goals a season consistently. And at the moment, I think we'd struggle to get 20 goals between Jesus and Eddie in the Premier League. Yes, I know the way we play, our centre forward, creates that space and stuff, and our wingers do a lot. I mean, Saka's already got, I think, 5 or 6 goals this season. I think he's got 5 goals and 4 assists. And obviously Martinelli will chip in, and Trossard chips in, and Nelson chips in. But I still think we're missing that kind of missing piece in terms of a centre forward, which I hope we address come January. If not January, then last resort next summer. But yeah, for me, nothing against Eddie. Personally, I think he'll go on to have a really, really good career. Yeah. I just think in terms of where we're at and where we want to go to, I just think it's a level above his ability and his ceiling.
Yeah, exactly. It's the best way of putting it.
Yeah.
I still think Arteta is experimenting. He needs to stop experimenting, if I'm honest. Just go for the win. I honestly think we're in danger of selling ESR in January. I believe 2 players will be sold in January.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I think. There is a midfielder that we're actually looking at, and I think we will make a move either January or next summer.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the same one that we were trying to get back in the last summer. So I hope we get him because I really like him. We'll wait and see. Okay, so he's just told me that Tottenham have taken the lead, or they've won
the
now.
game 2-1.
Oh, okay. Cheers, mate. I have no idea. My opinion is that Arsenal could definitely improve on Nketiah, but he looks like scoring a goal every other game. But I don't know what Arsenal games you're watching, mate, but it's the wrong one. So should it be suffice till the summer? Surely a goal versus City ought to make amends. I'm not for like who you score against. It's the consistency for me. It's got nothing about who you score against. It's the consistency. And Nketiah has this little purple patch, and then fades away for a massive patch, then has a purple patch, and then fades away from. I can't. I'm not one of those that likes that. Not with a striker. Other players, I don't expect some players to score, and that's absolutely fine. Jon Jensen, well known for not scoring for a very long time for Arsenal, still one of my favourite midfielders at Arsenal. But when it comes to strikers, I need at least, for me, 1 in 2. I know it sounds really harsh, but 1 in 2 for me. If I was Villa with Emery, I would come in for ESR. I'm sure there will be a bid for ESR in January, if I'm honest. I'm not saying that's the person that will go, but I think there will be a bid. Spud's celebrating as if they've won the league. So they're celebrating because they beat a 9-man Liverpool.
Yeah, they got their kids on the pitch and all sorts.
Seriously?
Yeah, I see Basuma holding what looks like one of you. I don't know, but it looks like
you leave that to the last game of the season.
Yeah, definitely see Basuma holding a child. So I'm only assuming it's his child, but it might not be. I don't know.
Keep saying it's De Jong. No, it is someone that we came very close to signing last summer. I'm expecting that we'll do it again, due to the fact the other club that is interested cannot buy him. So that's what helps us there. Gents, if you were United, I'd rather wouldn't be. Would you bring in Emery now that his command of English is that? I don't know. I watched his interview, and to be fair, me and my partner were laughing because yes, it's improved, but it's still funny. It's just quite funny him trying to speak English. ESR even more liking this. What a day, Spuds win late versus late 9-man Liverpool. Like, seriously. Right, G, let's do the ratings because we don't want to be too long. So let's start with Raya.
I mean, I don't think he had much to do today. I think Bournemouth didn't massively threaten, but what he had to do, he made look easy. So I don't think I can give him anything more than a 7.
All right, fair enough. Let's move to Benjamin White.
There were times in this game where he's played somewhat concerned me. It might be a little bit controversial, but I didn't think it was his best game today defensively, but he got a goal. So, and I don't think it was horrendous. So again, 7.
Okay. Saliba.
I thought Saliba was brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Having said that, the thing with him is that his bar is so high now that, I just think week in, week out, he performs at a regular kind of consistently 8. So I'm going to go with an 8 for Saliba.
Okay, Gabriel.
The same, matching his partner with an 8.
Zinni.
Zinni, I'll go 7.
Yeah. Declan.
I thought Declan was brilliant. I'm giving Declan a 9.
Okay, cool.
Declan does all the ugly stuff, all the undesirable stuff very, very well. It doesn't get the headlines. It doesn't make the headlines. A lot of football fans will not even notice, but every team needs a Declan Rice. So I'm giving him a 9.
Yeah, I agree. I love Declan. Right, let's move on to Havertz.
I think he had a really good game today. Stepped up in what would have been probably one of the most. People might just think, it was away to Bournemouth, but given the given the reaction of sections of our fan base, that would have been a very high pressured penalty because he would have known what was at stake if he missed that.
Yeah.
And he could have easily shied away from that.
Yeah.
And said, you know what? I'm not about to make things worse, people. Just slot the penalty away for me.
Yeah.
And I thought he had a really tidy game. So I'm going to give him an 8.
Awesome. Let's move it to Odegaard.
Yeah, 1 goal, 2 assists, 9.
Okay. Saka.
Scored a goal. I wouldn't necessarily say it was one of his best games though. So I'm going to give him a 7.
Okay. We'll move on to Eddie.
I'm tempted to give him a 6, but he won a pen. I'll give him a 7.
Okay, and Jesus.
Wasn't Jesus' best game, but he's always in and around causing issues. So again, average performance from Jesus, 7.
Okay. I'm using all the lineups that we did yesterday, and I've just realised, I don't know if you noticed it, but no one picked Eddie. Considering Trossard, Martinelli was out, Saka was out, no one picked Eddie.
No,
so it's not gender. There's no gender.
He did stink up the place in the last 2 games. He did.
Yeah.
He wasn't great against Spurs, and he was practically anonymous against Brentford in the cup. So I was quite surprised that he kept his place.
Yeah. Let's move on to the substitutions. Tommy came on for Cine.
Yeah, I mean he came on. He looked solid. So I give him a 7.
Okay. Nelson came on for Eddie.
To be honest, I didn't really notice that he did anything particularly special, so I'd go 6.5.
Well, I'm putting you down to 6.
Yeah,
I do 0.5s in here.
I can't remember seeing, reading, or anything in terms of what he did. I think it was just kind of shut up shop, really.
Yeah.
Same with Vieira. I'll give him a 6.
Okay, Vieira 6. So I just realised no one picked him either. Yeah. There was rumours that he had an injury, but even when I had my injury,
I'm saying there was rumours about him having a knock as well.
But I didn't even put him in my doubts last night because I was told that he was absolutely fine. So I don't know. Honestly, I think sometimes people read X a bit too much.
Yeah.
Because you don't know.
Yeah.
One, if they've even got any sources, they're just doing it for traction. I'm not saying listen to me. This is the list I'm given. And they tell me who is a doubt and who is out, and that's why I type. I didn't even put Saliba on there because I, as far as I was aware, he was definitely playing. So I don't know where the Vieira one coming from. Smith Rowe, give him a rating,
I think Smith Rowe was probably out of all the subs, he was the one that had the most impact in terms of coming on and making things happen. Having said that, he did miss what he should have buried. I mean, he should have put it away, but I'll give him that bit of ring rust. So I'm going to give him a 7. Him and Tommy got 7s.
And there we go. Jorginho was the last one.
I'm going to give Jorginho 6.
Okay, cool, lovely jubbly. That's that all done. Right, let's get into everyone else's ratings now. So Moss is giving Raya 8. Geeks is giving Raya a 7. Moss, you know me well enough, so I'm glad you put the 8 after the 8.5. Evening to Brenny, hope you're doing well, brother. Saliba 8. Yeah. It took them to play it against 9 men and a 96th minute own goal to win that. I can't take them seriously yet. Not sorry. Looking forward to that DVD come out now. Gigs, I'll allow you. Probably don't know my rules. I don't do 0.5s, but you did do a Ben White 7.5. I'm going to up it to an 8 due to the fact he's my right back. Saliba 8, Gabriel 8, Aber Henry. Arsenal with this effort, we will win. Yeah. Look, before the first goal went in, it wasn't great, but then we just knocked into gears and then just kept it nice and comfortable. And City had an off day today and they lose. We have an off day, we win or we draw. So it says different. Zinni 8, Gabriel 7, Zinni 7, Rice 8, Rice 8.5, Odegaard 9. Yes. Temi's actually done it for me all together. Raya 8, White 8, Saliba 9, Gabriel 9, Zinni 7, Rice 9. Odegaard, 10. Man of the match for him. Havertz, 7. Saka, 7. Jesus, 7. Eddie, 3. Okay. Oh, dear. Kai, 8. Havertz, 7.5. Tony Fulbrook's done. Raya, 6. White, 7. Saliba, 8. Gabriel, 8. Odegaard, 7. Havertz, 7. Rice, 9. Nketiah, 7. Jesus, 7. Cini, 7. Saka, 8. Chemi's brilliant. Tony's done 1 here as well. Raya, 7. White, 8. Saliba, 8. Gabriel, 8. Cini, 7. Rice, 8. Havertz, 8. Odegaard, 7. For Tony. So this is what I keep saying to everybody. Everyone sees the game differently. Everyone's entitled to their opinions as well. I've been told that Saliba wasn't very good today by certain people that I speak to, and I've not seen the game fully yet. I will see it this week, but and you're saying he's an 8, and that's absolutely fine. That's your opinion. I'll see it this week, and I'll see who I believe, because someone's told me he wasn't the greatest. Gabriel was the greatest again. It's amazing. I love it. This is why I get people to put the ratings in. Saka 8, Odegaard 9, Saka 8, Jesus 7, Eddie 6.5, Eddie 8 for Marseille. So there we go. Jesus 7. We have to beat Man City at least once this season. We did beat them in the Community Shield, just so everyone's fully aware. We have beaten them. That is still a shield to me. It matters to me. I know the history of it, so it means something to me. Arteta for Eddie is Ten Hag for Rashford. Very different categories, if I'm honest. Rashford has a heck of a lot of ability. Eddie is, I'm sorry, but he's more of a mid-table team. Yeah. Than Rashford is. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I can't give you that one, man.
Rashford,
I think Rashford's a quality player.
Yeah, he is.
I think Rashford has played a lot of the time out of position. At United, and I mean, I think if you take away Rashford from United last season, they probably finished bottom half of the table. He had a phenomenal season in a very bang average United side.
Yeah, 100%. Tommy was solid. So Geeks, Tommy good 7. I have the same energy for Jesus as Tony. I absolutely agree. I absolutely agree with your statement here. And we paid a lot of money for Jesus. He is a striker. He should be scoring goals. However, his effort when it comes to the pressing is very different to Eddie. So that's why Jesus gets always a 7 over a 6 for Eddie.
The pressing, but it's also his overall ability.
Yeah,
his overall ability is there's a massive gulf in terms of striker. In terms of being a striker, you could even argue and say Eddie is more clinical than Jesus.
Yeah.
But in terms of his overall ability, Eddie can't do what Jesus does. No. Like Jesus can skip past 2-3 players and put it on a plate for another player. Eddie doesn't really do that. So I agree in terms of striker, and that's why I say, like, for me, Jesus is not the answer. Even if Eddie wasn't at the club, I'd still be calling out for a Tony. I'd still be calling out for an Usherman, because we need a centre forward. That sole purpose is to consistently get 20 goals a season. We've not had that for a very, very long time, and I feel as though that is the missing ingredient in terms of this team. Obviously, there are areas of the squad that always going to change. You're going to need depth, but we just don't have that bagsman. We don't have that hitman up top. We don't have the, when you look at the stats, someone like Salah, his output over the last however many seasons, then you look at what Haaland's come in and done for the likes of City. When you see what Tony's done since coming up with Brentford, these guys are just consistently scoring every single season. Even when, dare I say it, but you look at the likes of Son and Kane when they're both at Spurs, their output was just phenomenal. We've not had that in terms of a centre forward. So that's what we need. And I think if we get that, I think that just takes us. I'm not saying we get a striker and we go on and we definitely win the league, but it does take us to another level, potentially. I said in some WhatsApp group chats and some Twitter group chats that, and I hope I'm wrong, but I personally don't see us ever winning the Premier League whilst Eddie and Jesus are our 2 striking options. I think we've got way more chance of winning, the Carabao Cup, the FA Cup, and even the Champions League. Because I think on our day, I think we can beat any team in the Champions League on our day. I think if we're playing well, we're as good as anybody in that competition, including City, including Madrid, including Bayern Munich and all those other sides. But consistently over 38 games, our strikers miss way too many chances for us to win the league, in my opinion.
Yeah, 100% agree. Right, Moss saying Nelson 6, Vieira 6, sub 7 for showing up. Fans get a 10 from Tony. Agree. ESR 6 would have been an 8 with a finish unlucky. Arteta did list Fabio as a doubt, so that's where it came from. I guarantee, I don't know where that came from because I get my list from someone and I trust this someone and it wasn't on there. So I think Arteta was playing with the media. And to be fair, I think Ira, whatever his name is, the Bournemouth coach was as well, because Solanke was meant to be out as well, and he played. So, yeah, I don't know what's going on. Georgie 7, Swedes. Is that anything to do with the fact that I might be wearing a Swedish top? Do apologise, but I am part Swedish as well. I'm many nationalities, weirdly. 17 points undefeated, and we have not looked at our best yet. Reason to be optimistic. 100% geeks, which is what we said last night. I'm with you, Bobby, on half scores. They look ugly to my OCD brain. Right now, it's really annoying me, the score of the Ryder Cup. Yeah, Ryder Cup really does my head in because they do 0.5s and half scores and all this stuff. It's really annoying. But yeah, honestly, it's just me. It's either a 7 or an 8. It makes you think a little bit harder about their performance, making you forced to do a 7 or an 8. 7.5, without being rude, is a bit of a cop out. So I make you think a little bit harder about the performance to decide if it's a 7 or an 8. But yeah, I have OCD as well, so that probably doesn't help matters either. David Raya, so commanded in the box, says Guna forever. Yeah, he's very comfortable. Luke's testing me today. We didn't really beat Man City, though it was a draw, which itself is an excellent improvement on our record. Look, we won. We won the trophy. We came away with the trophy. So we beat him.
Sorry, I'm taking it. I'm taking it as a win.
I'm taking that.
Sorry.
Hez very smart, good player to play with. I'm sure all our players. Oh, very good, Mars. Very good. Yes, very good. Ivan Tony is the answer, says Guna forever. There is a few options Arsenal are looking at. There's one that not a lot of people have been talking about, which I know about. He's 22. So everyone just Google a 22-year-old striker that has been informed this season. And to be fair, has been doing quite well the past couple of seasons as well. But he is someone that Arsenal are really looking at right now. So, yeah, keep an eye out for him. No, we need to leave a back up and left centre in January, striker in summer. Go for Osherman or Ferguson. I don't think Ferguson will leave Brighton in the next 2 seasons, if I'm honest. Osherman, there's obviously a lot of off-the-field stuff going on there. That one needs to play out to see what happens.
I reckon Saudi clubs are going to come in hard for him.
Yeah, I think the Saudi clubs will be the favourites for him, if I'm honest, because they can offer something that no one else can in the whole world. G can have a 10 today. Not sure what for, but he can have it. Not from me. He's not getting a 10. No one gets 10s from me. Europe. Okay, he's on about the Ryder Cup. I give Jen a G11 as I want to.
Loving it.
The simple one. Oh, crikey. Oh, here we go. Wahi. No. He's at RC Lons, so we'll be playing against him on Tuesday.
I'm trying to think about 22-year-old strikers. I'm going to Google it when I come off.
I'll tell you off air, mate. I just can't say it on air. So, Ivan Toney is not the answer. He is not an overall upgrade on Jesus. I believe you're right, Tony. I'm not understanding the Ivan Toney thing, if I'm honest.
You know what, though? It depends. For me, it depends what you're talking about. Is he a better striker than Jesus? Scoring goals? 100%. Is he a better player than Jesus? No. He's not. So... But the problem is that I do believe we need, does Tony come in and start over Jesus down the middle? I mean, it depends on the opposition for me, because they're different players, Jesus and Tony. But, if we 1-1 with Man City in the 95th minute and one of those 2 players are one-on-one goal with Edison, I know who my money's on or who I'd prefer it to be, and it'd be Tony over Jesus every single day of the week. So they're very different players. I personally agree with you, Bobby, in that I don't think we utilize Jesus's versatility enough. I really do believe that we should be playing him more on the right and rotating him and Saka more on that right-hand side, because I think he's much better on the right than he is on the left. And I was saying this ages ago. I was saying this. But yeah, I just think it depends what you're talking about, because again, Osherman, is Osherman a better player than Jesus? Technical ability? I don't think he is. But he's a much better striker than Jesus, because he'll get you goals. Every other game he'll score you a goal. So it's a difficult one, and that's the problem with Jesus, is he's a very good player, but he's just not clinical. No. At the same time, he has a role to play in this team. For me, he's just not the out-and-out number 9 goal scorer that we need. We need more.
Yeah. Geeks asking, do you think a striker in January will be a reality? Yes, I do. We need someone to leave for that position. Again, for the midfielder to come in, we need someone to leave. Again, that could happen. And it wouldn't surprise me if we tried to sign 3 players in January, if I'm honest. But
we've got to push, man. We've got to push.
Exactly. We can't... Look, our summer window wasn't as great as we would like it to have been. So if we can get those more players out in January, then we can bring some more players in. And then it will get us ready for the summer. I still think it'll be one big player next summer. There won't be much else being done, depending on what we do in January. If we don't do anything in January, which I'll be surprised if we don't, then next summer will be again busy. Tony is 27. Yes, he is. Ollie Watkins would be good. To be honest, he's doing very well at the moment, but again, he does have these purple patches and then fades for quite a while. But I do like Ollie. Jesus will not get us 20 league goals this season. 100% he won't. Yeah, well, I don't care where he was watching. He was sat with my cousin. When was that? Last weekend. My cousin sent me a selfie with him. I haven't spoken to him all week. I just haven't spoken. Big up to the Bobby Molyneux. Yeah, big up to the Wolves fans. Honestly, those guys cracked me up today. They're so funny. Geeks trying to get it out. Verts, Boniface, Keteler now. Got me curious. I promise, guys, I'll do the Arsenal news back in January. So, yeah, I will let you know once I can say anything. The most goals Jesus scored was 14 when he was at Man City. Just want to let everyone within the Armoury Collective, I've put in the whooping on all of you. Thank you, Mr. Watkins. Speaking of which, Watkins, anyone? Look, I don't think he's the right man for us either. He's very good, but not for us. Jay, thank you so much for jumping on. I know it's been hard for you to do as well, but where can people find you?
Yeah, no problem, man. It's always a pleasure. Sorry if my camera's been moving around a lot. I'm using my other laptop. I've got my daughter doing coursework, my little one behind the laptop that you can't see, and I'm babysitting at the same time whilst watching the football. So I'm really multitasking. But yeah, if you want to interact with me, just follow my handle on the screen, which is G Talks Arsenal. That's where I do all my interaction. And yeah, if you want to see me more on screen, then obviously just tune into the Armory shows. But yeah, couldn't let you do the show solo, Bobby. So yeah, had to join you.
Cheers, my man. Really appreciate it. Yeah, we want to do it because the thing is, I'm doing Arsenal again tomorrow. Arsenal are playing Liverpool in their first WSL, and I wanted this kind of wrapped up before we start moving on to new games. It felt wrong. So yeah,
you can't be winning 4-0 away from home and not doing a reaction show. Come on.
Exactly. I would have loved to have had the day off today, but look, it's to be done. And for what I'm doing, obviously for this week, I'm actually doing loads of watch along. So tomorrow I've got Arsenal versus Liverpool. Then we've got match preview for the RC Lon on Monday. Watch along for the long game on Tuesday. Friday, it's Man United versus Arsenal Friday night, which is the women's. I'll wait for that. Russo. Come on, Russo. My Wi-Fi.
Is that my internet gone or is that Bobby's internet gone? I'm not even sure. Someone let us know in the chat. Can you see Bobby? Can you see me moving? I don't know. Bobby seems to have frozen on my screen, and I think I'm not frozen. But let me know in the chat. Then I can just wrap up the show. But yeah, I'm clueless. Bobby has powered down. Okay, cool. So can you still hear me? Just me. And you can hear me fine. Okay, cool. The only problem is I'm going to need Bobby to come back because I don't have controls to end the show. Tony, Silver Fox, help me out. I don't have the controls to end the show because I'm not actually logged in. Yeah, Guna Forever, definitely. Let me just go through some of these until Bobby comes back. So let me see. Oh, I can't even bring up the comments, people. That's how bad it is. And I can't even end the stream. So yeah, what I can see here though is Silver Fox Tony says, if you need help with your timetables, G is your man. Actually, I'm not a maths teacher. I'm terrible at maths. I failed my GCSE 3 times in maths, but I passed it eventually. But what I can help you or your children with is history. Okay, so if you need any tutoring or your children need any tutoring of history, I can teach American West, I can teach Norman Conquest, I can teach a range of history subjects. I don't charge that much an hour, and if you are a Guna, I will give you a discounted price per hour. So yeah, hit me up in the DMs if you need any history tuition. Over to you, Bobby.
Honestly, I don't know. Oh, what a time for my internet.
Yeah, no, I couldn't even tell if I was still on. It was the chat was telling me, actually, you are still on. But because you've given me access via the link and it's not my usual computer, I couldn't even bring the comments up. I couldn't even end the stream.
Yeah. So, guys, I'm going to end it. I'm sorry. I'm going to quickly call it out, but I don't trust my Wi-Fi right now. So, guys, take care. Speak to you very soon. Bye-bye.